Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at my custom tactics. Now I've been getting several requests from you guys to share these custom tactics with you, and I'm definitely excited to do so here in the video. Now the second part of this video is going to be the giveaway, as you guys saw in the description. I'm going to be giving away a pre-order FIFA 23 Ultimate Edition, and that is expected to become available at the beginning of July, and so that's kind of why we're doing it at this point in time. So stay tuned for details later in the video on how to enter, and we'll go ahead and jump into the custom tactics now. And just a little bit of background on my playstyle and skill level. I have been in the Elite Division for Division Rivals every season of FIFA 22, and usually I get 14 wins in FUT Champs, so rank 4, and sometimes I will end up getting 16 wins. So this isn't like a rank 1 custom tactics video or anything, but like I said, I just want to kind of share the custom tactics that I use with you guys for the formations that I typically play, and maybe there's bits and pieces of it that you guys can try to incorporate. And if you guys find this helpful, definitely let me know in the comments down below. As you guys can see, I typically start out in the 4-4-2 formation, and I know it's not quite as meta as it was a couple months back, but I still find that it offers a good bit on the attack and on the defense, so it's still a formation that I like and I play with. But sometimes I do switch pretty early on in games to the 4-2-2 formation or the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So those are kind of the three formations that I rotate around with mainly. And as I'm sure you guys notice, all three of those formations I mentioned are two-striker formations. I always play with two-striker formations, and I have tried one-striker formations in previous FIFAs. I haven't really this year, but whenever I do try them, I just have more trouble creating attacks and creating chances. I really like having the two strikers, and I can do the kind of 1-2 passes with them. So like I said, all three of the formations that I'm going to go in depth on are going to be two striker formations. So if that's similar to your playstyle, then definitely keep watching and check out the custom tactics that I have for them. Alright, so starting out here in the 4-4-2, we'll just kind of go down the list with the tactics and the instructions on each of these, and we'll jump straight away into the first one. So on defensive style, I usually keep it balanced across the board. You know, there's some of this constant pressure, which I wouldn't really recommend unless you're going all out attack. There's pressure on heavy touch, which I feel like if I do pressure on heavy touch, then my players quickly run out of stamina a lot faster than just doing balanced. And so I would say do balance, and then obviously defensive on all the formations. Get used to kind of the second man pressing and just kind of manually controlling that pressure with the second man press, and also manually trying to cut out passing lanes and whatnot with the midfielder or the defender that you're controlling. So I always put balanced on pretty much all the formations that I use. So as far as width and depth goes, these are pretty standard, you know, about 48 width and 72 depth. Some people drop the depth more, but I'm somebody who likes to kind of press higher up the field and kind of pass it around, keep possession, and try to just, you know, create chances that way. So I know you're more prone to the counter attack there with the higher depth, but for me, I just like kind of pressing higher up the pitch and playing attacking football. I'm not really somebody who just wants to drop back and just defend until I can get a counter attack. So like I said, if you want to play some good attacking football, hopefully these are some good custom tactics for you. All right, so the build-up play is going to be balanced for me, and chance creation is direct passing. I think direct passing is pretty standard and pretty common across a lot of the custom tactics at this point. I haven't really messed around with too many of the other ones. You know, there's possession and forward runs, which I think forward runs is somewhat popular as well, but yeah, for me, I just stick with direct passing. As far as the width goes here on defense or on offense, I just kind of keep it at 55, and players in the box is at 5. It's kind of low. You know, some people like to put more players in the box, but for me, I just do 5. Definitely feel free to mess around with it if you want. And corners, I put 2, and free kicks, I put 2. Now let's get over into the instructions here. So we'll start kind of from the back. I just kind of keep it balanced on the keeper. I don't really mess with the keeper too much. For the two center backs, I also kind of just keep it on your normal instructions. Now, when it comes to the fullbacks, I do put 1 on stay back attacking and 1 on balanced attack. So the one I have on a balanced attack is going to be the defender that, or I guess the fullback that offers more going forward. So Quadrado, with him having 5-star skills, is somebody that I want to have on balanced. And, you know, you might could put him on join the attack, but I just kind of keep him on balanced. I do have overlap as well on the fullbacks. And with having overlap on the fullbacks, you're probably going to want to have cover wing on the center mids, so that when those fullbacks get out of position, you know, the midfielders kind of will cover for them. So that is something as well that kind of goes in conjunction with the fullbacks tactics. So if we go up here to the two center mids like we were talking about, I do have get forward or balanced on one of the more attacking center mids. So, you know, based on the attacking AI of the more attacking center mid, typically it's not Fred for me. Typically it's someone like Isco, or, you know, maybe like a team of the season Luka Modric or somebody like that. I put him on get forward if his attacking AI or his work rates don't lead him to go making attacking runs as much, and I have to kind of try to manually trigger him. If I notice I'm having to manually trigger a lot, then I will kind of change it to get forward. So that's what I do on the more attacking center mid. And like I said, cover wing. And other than that, I kind of keep it on the default settings here. So I put stay back on somebody like a Patrick Vieira, who's definitely way more defensive minded. He's kind of my CDM here. So I put him on stay back while attacking, and like I said, cover wing. And then other than that as well, he has pretty much the default settings. So for my for my left mid and for my right mid, I have basic defense support and free roam, get in behind, get into the box for the cross. So those are kind of the same on both of the two left mid and right mid. And some people like to put comeback on defense, but for me, I've experimented with it before, but I kind of like having, you know, these guys staying out and not coming back on defense, and so that when I want to launch a counter, if that happens, then I can, and they're already there in position to quickly sprint down the field and, you know, make a cross or cut in for a shot and whatnot. So I kind of like setting them on basic defense, or even maybe like a stay forward. So especially somebody like an Insigne who's not really going to be able to defend, there's no point in putting coming back on defense for him, in my opinion. So yeah, now we can look at the strikers here. And so we have get in behind on one of the two strikers. And typically I would put the get in behind. And so that's going to be, I guess, somebody who's making more runs and has more pace on the faster player. So I believe I switched for chemistry, Eusebio and Avila, but and Eusebio does have more pace. So I would try to figure out who's kind of the pacier and maybe has more physical as far as the strikers go, and that's the guy you want to put in on get in behind to make those runs for you. So other than that though, on the strikers, I don't really have anything other than the default settings. You can experiment with, let's see here. Yeah, stay central is another thing, because, you know, if you have a striker like maybe like Eusebio or R9, who I don't really want to have outside, ever drifting out to the wings, then I could, you know, tell him to stay central, and he can kind of be like always there in the box for you. He's somebody who's just going to always finish like an R9. I would put him on stay central. So yeah, those are kind of the tactics for the 4-4-2 formation. And now we'll jump over to the 4-2-2. All right, so as far as the 4-2-2 goes, it's going to have a lot of similar instructions and tactics, but there will be, you know, obviously a few differences. So still have defensive style is balanced. The width is 47, which is similar to what the width was on the 4-4-2. Now the depth I have dropped some because I have this set as my more defensive formation. And so because, you know, it also has the two CDMs as well. And so it's just kind of a more defensive minded formation. So I do drop the depth a little bit, not quite as high as up in the 70s like the 4-4-2. As far as offense goes, we still have balanced and direct passing and a similar width as well at 53. Now I do have more players in the box here. So I've got, let's see, 7. Yep, so I've got 7 players in the box, and same 2 on corners and 2 on free kicks. So same for corners and free kicks as the 4-4-2. So we can get over here into the instructions now. And again, I have balanced for the goalkeeper on both. And just, you know, I don't mess with the center backs either. It's going to be a similar situation here, except there's no overlap with the fullbacks. So I put stay back while attacking on Theo Hernandez, which is the same thing he had in the 4-4-2. And then on, I have, I guess, joined the attack here instead of a balanced attack for Cuadrado. So, like I said, I guess with this formation being set up, having the two CDMs, I feel like it is okay to totally tell Cuadrado to join the attack and get forward, especially with his 5-star skills and everything he offers going forward. So, I definitely don't have a problem with pushing him up the field when I know I have these two CDMs here. And I do have cover wings as well on the center mids or the CDMs. So yeah, cover wing, similar to what we had in the 4-4-2. And other than that, everything else should be default on the CDMs. Now, as far as the two, I guess the left cam and the right cam go, I have stay forward on them. And, well, I have stay forward on Insigne because, like I said previously, he's not really going to offer too much coming back on defense at all. And I have basic defense support on Salah. So, you know, you could definitely switch this as well if you have a right center attacking mid that's not going to offer much coming back. Then I would say, you know, also put him on stay forward. We have get in the box for the cross and free roam on Salah. And then I have on Insigne, I have stick to position and get into the box for the cross. As far as my two strikers go, I have them both set on stay central, and I have get in behind on both of them and come back on defense. So like I said, this is a more defensive minded formation. So if my two strikers are kind of more physical strikers, which Eusebio and Avila are, and I want to kind of, you know, try to bring them back to help cover the midfielders and whatnot as far as defense goes, then there's no problem at all with that. Like I said, as long as they're more physical strikers, and if you're playing this as a kind of like your defensive tactic, then I would definitely think about doing that. I do have, like I said, stay central on both. I don't really want these guys drifting out wide too much. I kind of want to just, you know, launch the attack from the center defensive mids and then push up to the right cam and the left cam, and then have these guys kind of come in and make passes into my central strikers. So that's kind of the goal here. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it as far as the 4-2-2. And now we'll go check out the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. All right, so for this formation, I have the defensive style set to balanced as well. I have 50 width, 51 depth, and balance and direct passing for build-up play and chance creation. So that's definitely a common theme throughout all three of the formations. I've got 50 width on the defense and 6 players to get in the box. And I have bumped up the corners and the free kicks because this is my attacking formation. So definitely whenever I'm down a goal maybe, or the opponent's playing really narrow and I'm trying to maybe match him in the midfield, then I maybe switch to this 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. And so yeah, like I said, I've got 4 corners and 4 on free kicks. Now, as far as instructions go, it is going to be somewhat similar to the others. The 2 CBs and the goalkeeper are going to be on default. I have stay back while attacking on and overlap here on the left back, and then I've got balanced attack here on the right back. So I don't have either of them really on join the attack because I feel like, you know, with everybody being kind of pushed into the midfield, if you send these guys and get them too involved high up the pitch, then you may get countered on the wings. So that's kind of why I'm somewhat hesitant to put totally join the attack on these two guys. And, you know, if I think I have a good chance or I really want to try to push the attack, I may manually trigger these two fullbacks to go forward. But yeah, just having everyone here in the midfield by default and then also pushing the fullbacks up, it's definitely can leave you vulnerable on the wings. So I kind of try to be cognizant of that. Now I do have, similar to how I had in the other ones, I do have cover wing on a couple of the center mids here, at least Patrick Vieira and Fred. And then on the other center mid here, I've got default across the board. Let's see, yeah, so these 3 guys are pretty much default. The only exception here being stay back while attacking for the CDM. So as far as the center attacking mid goes, I have stay forward, and I also have stay forward on my 2 strikers. So like I said, with this being a more attacking formation, I don't really want to be bringing my front 3 back to defend. I kind of just tell them to stay forward, and whenever I win the ball, they're already up the pitch, and I can kind of send it to them to launch that counter attack if need be. So yeah, that's kind of the strategy here. And then the 2 strikers I have, similar to how I have on the other ones, I have get in behind on the faster striker, and then of course, like we talked about before, you can experiment with the kind of stay central if you want to. If there's this particular striker that you really trust with the shooting, stay central on him. And yeah, other than that, that should pretty much do it for the 4-1-2-1-2. So nothing too crazy as far as the tactics go on this formation, but it is a formation that I find really strong at this point in the game, and I definitely recommend you guys giving it a go if that's something that you're interested in. So I know that this has been kind of a longer video, but like I said before, I wanted to just kind of get the custom tactics out there, especially for those of you that have been interested and asking me about it. And if you guys end up using any of these custom tactics in the weekend league or any of your rivals games, let me know how they work out for you, and hopefully they do help. So we're going to jump into the second part of the video, which will be a good bit quicker, and that is the giveaway details. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm going to be giving away a pre-order FIFA 23 Ultimate Edition. I think that the expected release date to open up the pre-orders is around July 10th, and so that's a few weeks from now, and the giveaway will actually be ending on July 6th. So that'll be the last day for you guys to enter, and then that'll give us about a week to kind of validate the winner and go ahead and get the pre-order to you guys, whoever the winner is. So the only 2 things that you guys need to do to enter are subscribe to the channel, and then leave a comment down below saying who your favorite FIFA 22 FUT card is. So, you know, any of the cards from the promos, any icons, anything like that, just whoever your favorite is, leave a comment on this video, and that, along with subscribing to the channel, will enter you into the giveaway. Like I said, it's going to be ending on July 6th, and I will be in my next videos up until then kind of putting out reminders for you guys with a link back to this video to enter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, peace out.